This debate was seen as a big test for Kamala Harris in particular because she's relatively unknown by the American public. How do you think she fared?
I think the immediate consensus was that she did quite well. She did everything that she had to do. She stood up to Trump from the first minute when she shook his hand and kind of took him off guard, all the way through the debate in terms of everyone knowing that she was going to try to fluster him to serve bait that he would take, and he took the bait repeatedly. And then articulating a good, solid, middle-of-the-road policy agenda. She argued for targeted tax cuts to first-time home buyers and small businesses. The issue of abortion is something that's very important to women. And there's a big gender gap that she has 15 points in her favor. And she probably added to that a little bit from Republican-leaning women, one might imagine. So all in all, it has to be judged a solid win for Harris.
How does this debate leave the chances of both candidates now?
Usually debates are held much later in the American election cycle, and so they have a much more immediate effect on how people vote. So there is 2 months is a long time in politics. The last 2 months have been historic and unprecedented. No one knows what the next 2 months hold, but the here and now, Harris scored a solid win.
This was their first face-to-face meeting during this election campaign. How did Trump respond to Harris as an opponent?
In terms of Trump's response to Harris, this is just testament that people show you who they are, and they are who they are. Everyone knew coming into this debate that Harris would try to rattle Trump. She strode out, introduced herself, got into his space with the handshake, needled him about crowd size, referred to his criminal convictions, just about every annoying little thing a person could do to get under someone else's skin, she did. Now, Trump knew this was coming, and the extent to which he cannot seem to control himself was fully on display there. The American people in polls prefer Harris as an individual. It's actually because of disappointment with the economy over the Biden years that they're somewhat skeptical of the Biden-Harris record. But they seem to like Harris more as a person. This is only going to reinforce that because Donald Trump could not control himself.